Easy from Eddie Hernandez.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Academy Stormchaser. My name is Lazzara, I am the GAW Academy Women's Champion, and I have a few things that I need to say before we get started tonight. Look, I'm a fair champion. We've seen far too many who aren't. And Caitlin Dunlap beat me weeks ago, and she never got a chance to win the title. It's time for me to set the example. It's time for me to allow Caitlin Dunlap the opportunity that she should have had. She will get to fight me for the GAW Academy Women's Championship. Yamamoto is still the number one contender, and she'll have her match at Stormchaser Sydney. That is certain. Whether it's me or Caitlin, it's time to turn the Academy from a startup to a behemoth. Look, we don't get the respect we deserve from all of those people who show up to work on Fridays. But the least we can do is respect ourselves. And this is how I'm going to do it. You beat the champion, you get a championship match. It's that simple. It's time for us to respect all of our fellow competitors. Because at the end of the day, whatever differences we may have, we're in this together. That's what the Academy is about. So I'll see Caitlin out at the ring, and one of us is going to Australia with that title.
Girl, yeah. All I ever wanted was the world. I can't help that I need it all. The prima donna life, the rise and fall.
Well, Lazzara kind of did my job for me, welcoming you all into this episode of GAW Academy Stormchaser. But as always, I want to say hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here. And we are very thankful every week. And this week we get to start out with apparently an impromptu championship match. We talked about last week that Lazzara had a big announcement to make. Apparently she's been planning this. So here we are. Caitlin Dunlap, just like that, she's got herself a championship match. Lazzara obviously doesn't care that Dunlap has been embroiled in some controversy when it comes to Katana. The fact that Katana just got discharged from the hospital after fears that her elbow may need to be operated on after Caitlin Dunlap went to work on that arm once again on the last episode of Dark. So Caitlin Dunlap, she could be walking out of here as champion. Never let it be said that Lazzara is fearful of anyone. Lazzara, as we know, was really not in a great place mentally during the Stormchaser tournament, and it all started, or at least it began to get noticed when she lost to Caitlin Dunlap in that tournament, like she referenced. So Lazzara has not been quite normal since then, but she has managed to retain her Academy Championship this whole time. She lost in the finals of the Stormchaser tournament, but she has a date with Yamamoto, well, potentially now, at Stormchaser Sydney. We now know that it might be Caitlin Dunlap who ends up taking on the future of wrestling down under. So for Lazzara, she's obviously been preparing for this for a while now because we've known that this announcement is coming since last week. So Lazzara mentally at least appears to be on the right track, getting back to the absolute killer that we know she can be, that we saw her at the beginning of the tournament. Let's see if she can retain that Academy Championship. Well, so much can change about Stormchaser Sydney. That's coming up in 2 weeks. We now know only 2 of the matches that we are going to see for sure, because the Academy Women's Championship, we know one of the participants, it's going to be Yamamoto, but the other one could be either of these 2 women. As for the rest of that card, I think we'll know more about it in the coming weeks. Like I said, we've got 2 weeks to go. So I believe that card will fill up. What an event it's going to be down under, the first ever Academy special. We've done these for Storm in the past, and traditionally they've been some big moments that have happened on these specials from around the world. Caitlin Dunlap with a T-bone suplex. Well done. We'll see if it's the same in the Academy. I would expect that it would be. Of course, the whole event's going to be highlighted by Yunsan Park against Eddie Hernandez one last time. The two legends of the Academy. Yunsan Park in our main event later on, and Caitlin Dunlap showcasing a little bit of that mat work that she has really improved. I know what you're thinking, given the fact that Caitlin Dunlap and Katana have been involved in some pretty brutal stuff over the last few weeks. You would think that maybe this would be the time for Katana to get involved here and stop Caitlin Dunlap from winning one of the biggest matches of her career, but I can confirm that Katana is not in the building right now, still recovering from injuries she sustained at the hands of the goddess Caitlin Dunlap. So this is going to be a fair match. If Dunlap wins, she will be the champion. And then what is to become of Katana, a woman who's beat Dunlap twice? That I really don't know, but what I do know is Lazzara is in a better place mentally than she was the first time out against Caitlin Dunlap. Lazzara went for the Make My Fortune in that match, and Dunlap able to work her way out of it and absolutely slugged the women's champion with a lariat to win. Lazzara now testing out Dunlap early on, going for a cover. Dunlap kicks out at one. And Lazzara, Lazzara, Make My Fortune. Wow. I guess it happens just like that, doesn't it? Lazzara hooks the leg, no! Dunlap. I believe she's already kicked out of the Make My Fortune. So this is something at least that she's experienced with. Another cover here and another kick out from Dunlap. Wow, that's not what I was expecting. But it does put Dunlap in a position. Oh, look at this. Dunlap, another lariat. Lays out the women's champion. It's how she won the first time. Lazzara was looking for the where I've been, and now Caitlin Dunlap drops her to her knees, and Dunlap with a go behind superiority. I'm sorry, that one's the bow before me. God, Caitlin Dunlap, she's got so many moves I can't keep them straight, but Lazzara, doesn't matter what move it is, she just kicked out of that. Caitlin Dunlap stalking her prey. Lazzara up to her feet. Dunlap, we know how dangerous the DDG is, the drop dead gorgeous. Lazzara maybe avoided disaster there. Lazzara with the wrist lock. Dunlap pulls her back in a huge forearm. Dunlap has some strength and a little bit of athleticism as well. She's pretty lanky, comes in at 5'11", so one of the taller competitors on the women's side. And she's pretty lanky, but she's got some deceptive strength. Obviously, the DDG, how dangerous that is. We know that to be the case. And Dunlap, she's going to do it for one more time. Bow before me. You know, it's a very similar move to what Ric Flair and now Charlotte Flair use in the natural selection. Dunlap probably doesn't think of it that way, and Dunlap now hoists up Lazzara looking for the DDG, but Lazzara, big knee to the head, stops the DDG from happening, and now it's Lazzara's turn. Lazzara has Dunlap in trouble. Make My Fortune. Right in the middle of the ring, and Lazzara trying to exorcise the demons, avenge the loss from Stormchaser, and she does. Lazzara is your women's champion. Well, an impromptu title match with an impromptu finish. The women's champion, Lazzara, she got it done almost in the blink of an eye with the Make My Fortune early on, but Caitlin Dunlap stopped that one from happening. Dunlap had Lazzara in major trouble after hitting that lariat, countering the Where I've Been. 2 times Lazzara was forced to bow before the goddess, and then this, the DDG attempt, almost went through, but Lazzara, always thinking one of the smartest competitors in GAW, male or female, and Lazzara is still the champion, and that means that we can confirm Stormchaser Sydney in 2 weeks. Lazzara takes on the #1 contender, Yamamoto. What a match that is going to be. Can Yamamoto fulfill her destiny and win the GAW Academy Women's Champion? I don't know for sure. What I also know is Garrett Gibson's going to have to put his championship on the line against his #1 contender, Kurt Andrews, the Buccaneer, and then, of course, the headliner of the whole event, Yunson Park, taking on Eddie Hernandez one last time. What an incredible experience it's going to be to watch two of the most famous names in the history of the GAW Academy fight one more time. Folks, we are waiting on the debut of War, one of the most dangerous teams in the Academy, to be sure. But first, Lars Nightfall, he's backstage. He's had his own issues with overload over the last few weeks, and he has some words for the 400-pound, arrogant former strongman. Overload believes he can act with impunity. He believes money is the end, not the means. He believes he can cross me without my fighting back, but for now, I won't. A nightmare is not made of one moment. A nightmare is made of 1,000 moments of unease, 1,000 moments of uncertainty, 1,000 moments when the outcome is known, but the means are not. We know the end of this story. Now welcome, Overload, to your nightmare. A bone-chilling message from Lars Nightfall. We'll see what comes of all this. What you're seeing right now is a live look as Lance and Seth Woods make their way to the ring. They have drawn the short straw and have to contend with one of the most dangerous tag teams in the world. War makes their debut right now. The Woods Club was one of the first tag teams to sign on with GAW, and they were the first team in this new tag team division. They lost their debut match to Andrew Wesley and Frankie Omega, but they have since answered with a big win on Dark just a couple weeks ago. Now, folks, what I'm very excited to announce for you right now, obviously the debut of War forthcoming, but we know that the Tag Team Championships are back. Well, at Stormchaser Sydney, we will see the first ever GAW Academy Tag Team Power Rankings. We'll rank all our teams, the top 5 anyway, and at a later date, the top 2 will get themselves a title match.
This is war. This is war.
Wow, would you look at this? War. Isaiah Hannibal on the left, Vic Cassidy on the right. Vic Cassidy, specifically, I mean, we want to highlight him because you look at the size of this man. 6'8", 275 pounds. He's built like a linebacker. He moves like a running back. We know that he is the man who traditionally delivers the big knee in the War Ender finisher. We talked about it before. We talked about it last week, how dangerous it is. And Woods Club is going to get an up-close and personal look at how dangerous this team can really be. You may very well be looking at the future of tag team wrestling. Lance Woods starts things off for the very experienced Woods Club. And now I'm betting he wishes that he didn't. Isaiah Hannibal, even though he is the smaller of the two men, Vic Cassidy, as I say, standing at 6'8" tall. He may be smaller, Isaiah, but that doesn't mean that he is any less powerful. Isaiah, look at that. Almost feigning to Seth Woods as though he did not see the blind tag, but he absolutely did. Top wrist lock. Seth Woods did well to get out of it, but still, Isaiah Hannibal just too powerful. Power bomb, and now the Woods Club immediately in trouble. You can see how good both these teams are. We know we made the announcement that we'll have for the first time ever the GAW Academy Tag Team Power Rankings. You'll get to see the top 5 teams listed out every week. First power rankings comes out at Stormchaser Sydney, as if you needed another reason to watch that show on March 15th. What an incredible card that is. But when will the top 2 actually get their title match? Well, you'll need to tune into Friday Night Storm this week to find out. Some of the biggest events in the company are going down. Some of the biggest matches in the company are going down at a very special event. You'll find out when and where on Friday Night Storm. And hey, while you're there, how about you check out the main event? CM Punk against Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental Championship. Former Mob teammates turned enemies. And now look at this, War, oh my God, Cassidy coming off with a big diving clothesline. Elbow drop, and Cassidy with a diving elbow drop. So fast. And Hannibal stops the tag in. Seth was desperately trying to tag brother Lance. Isaiah Hannibal stops it from happening. Seth trying to hit the DDT to buy himself some space, but Isaiah Hannibal not gonna let it happen in a running knee strike. Turns Seth inside out. You can see how impressive War are, how great they are, how versatile, and how dangerous. This is what we've been talking about for weeks now, and you're seeing it play out in front of your very eyes. Seth Woods realized how dangerous that spot was, and a running knee strike. Seth Woods has bought himself some time. Uh-oh, Woods, I think he's trying to do a little bit too much here. Well done, trying to get that suplex in, and now a double foot stomp, and Seth is a big guy. All right, Seth, you got in some offense. You bought yourself some time. Tag out now. This is a mistake. You don't want to let War back into this match. You need to have a perfect match to beat them, and it hasn't been that for Woods Club right now. Spinning kick caught by Isaiah Hannibal, dragon screw leg whip, and now Seth Woods is regretting not taking that tag. Seth sends Isaiah Hannibal into the corner, introduces him to that top turnbuckle. As always, not an introduction I want to be a part of, but still, Seth Woods, he's made some big mistakes here, but he continues to get bailed out. Float over the top DDT. Now, you got to get a tag here, Seth. You're too close to the corner. You've been in this match too long. I think he's doing a little bit too much, but maybe the risk will pay off. Dumps Isaiah Hannibal back into the corner, and no, it didn't. Isaiah Hannibal hoists him up and drives him down into a cross arm breaker. Seth Woods rolls around, but Hannibal, well done, transitions, grounded hammerlock, and now Hannibal has the other arm now. Seth Woods, there's nothing he can do. Hannibal wrenches back. You can feel it from here, the pressure on the elbow. And that's not even the arm that Seth Woods is wearing an elbow pad on. There's just no support for that. What a mistake by Seth Woods. And now there's nothing. Lance Woods breaks up the War Ender. He did the right thing, but Vic Cassidy goes right for the cover. Lance Woods is there again. Lance Woods saw the War Ender happening, and he was in there to break it up. That is tag team experience at its finest. And now Seth just driving Vic Cassidy neck first into the rope, and somehow Woods Club has the advantage right now. I don't know how, but Seth Woods going for a cover here on Vic Cassidy, and it's kick out. Lance Woods caught Isaiah Hannibal as Hannibal returned to the ring, and now Hannibal rolls out once again. Vic Cassidy, doing a little bit too much taunting right there, and it's a backbreaker. Woods Club somehow have the advantage after War has dominated this entire match, but Lance Woods stopped the War Ender mid-move. And now Vic Cassidy, Irish whip off the ropes, comes Seth and Cassidy with a huge elbow. Seth Woods is bigger than 75% of the men in the academy, and Vic Cassidy is noticeably bigger than Seth Woods. Cassidy showcasing a little bit of mat work. There is an amateur wrestling background for both Vic and Isaiah. We don't know much about where they came from, but we do know that whatever wrestling school they went to on the underground, it featured a lot of mat work. and they are so adept at it. Cassidy almost removes Seth Woods' face with that knee strike, and now War with Isaiah Hannibal back on the apron are once again in firm control. They make you play a perfect game, as it were. You need to be at your best for every second that you face War. And even if you are, sometimes it's not enough. And unfortunately for Woods Club, they haven't quite been. Seth Woods, this is the time to take a tag right now. Suplex onto Vic Cassidy. You've got some time. This is where you need to get it done. Cassidy, he knows how important it is to get himself a tag. Seth Woods is still in this thing. Hoists him up, pile driver. You have the opportunity, and Seth Woods finally, mercifully, gets a tag. He almost made a big mistake several times by keeping himself in the match, and now the much fresher Lance Woods is in. Deadlift, gut wrench, power bomb. And that is no mean feat on a man the size of Vic Cassidy. Lance, oh, now with a claw. The claw made famous, of course, by generations of the Von Erich family. But Vic Cassidy shakes it off like it's nothing. Cassidy hoists Lance Woods up into a suplex position, but Woods, well done. Knee in and avoids it. And now Woods takes Cassidy, perches him up on top of the rope. Woods sends him out. Uh-oh, Cassidy, you don't want to be here right now. You don't want to be here right now as Woods, oh my God, pile driver! Well, if there's one way to get yourself the advantage in this match, that would be the way. Oh my God. And yet, Vic Cassidy somehow is still around, and now it's Lance Woods trying to buy some time for his partner. Isaiah Hannibal was, and he does that effectively. Woods and Cassidy now engaged in a striking battle, and that is not where you want to be against the size of Vic Cassidy. Now puts Lance Woods back in, and Cassidy, oh my God, drives his face against the apron, but he's not done. A knee lift strike there from Vic Cassidy, and now it's Lance Woods who desperately needs a tag, but War, as they are so good at doing, is not going to let him get one. Tag in. Oh, we mentioned last week, either member of War can perform either action, and it's a War ender. Isaiah Hannibal from the top. Vic Cassidy stops Lance Woods. Seth Woods is not fast enough. And War has won their debut. Seth Woods was not fast enough. Vic Cassidy stopped him from breaking up the War ender. And this is a message from War. As I said, normally it's Vic Cassidy who comes off the top rope to drive that knee in, but either member can perform either role. That nearly turned the tide of the match. The War ender, broken up by Lance Woods, nearly turned the tide of the match, but War, they are too good. And we knew it going in. 2 weeks in Stormchaser Sydney, we will see the first ever tag team power rankings. Will War be on it, or really more accurately, how high will they be? That's the question. Folks, next week on GAW Academy Stormchaser, Kurt Andrews, the #1 contender for Garrett Gibson's Academy Championship, will battle Stefford Drummond, the man who took Eddie Hernandez to his limit. What an incredible match it is going to be. But right now, we need to get you to the main event of this week. Yunsan Park takes on Lee Carr, the Ultimate Cinderella.
Beneath this mask, there is more than flesh. Beneath this mask, there is an idea, Mr. Creedy. And ideas are bulletproof. My turn.
Don't even bother asking the question. I know what you're thinking. Why didn't I beat Lazzara? The answer's simple. Katana. 3 weeks ago, Katana got some upset over me because, look, I'll admit when I'm wrong. I went out there and I saw Katana and I was like, I'm going to beat her in 2 minutes and I'm going to go home. I'm going to get my workout. I'm going to go to the clubs. I was thinking about not only the party that night, I was thinking about the parties in 3 nights, and Katana got the better of me. I can admit it. But then Katana starts acting like a big shot. Katana starts acting like she's done something. She starts acting like that wasn't just some fluke. And then again, I let it get the better of me. And then again, Katana just so happened to get herself a win. It takes 3 seconds to get a win, but it takes a lifetime to become the greatest wrestler in the world, and that's exactly what I've done. I've excelled everywhere I've been and at everything I've done. I'm better at every single thing that Katana does. I'm better at straightening my hair. I'm better at strength training, and I'm better at professional wrestling. I don't attack Katana because I need to. I beat her ass every week because I want to. And I'm just getting started with that bitch. What a joy it is to welcome Yunsan Park back to the GAW Academy. Here's a crazy stat for you. This is only the second match that Yunsan Park will fight in the GAW Academy in almost a year and a half. How insane is that? Obviously, he had his no DQ match against Eddie Hernandez during the Stormchaser tournament, and it was amazing. He won it. It was life-changing for both men. It changed so much. A lot of people can trace what is happening right now with GAW Academy Stormchaser back to that match. But Yunsan Park, he's a legend, and he hasn't fought more than twice in 18 months. It's unbelievable the career that this man has had in the Academy. What a great night it is to be back in front of the GAW Academy fans. I had to take the mask down so I could talk to you all so you could hear me clearly, because there are some things that I really want to say. Look, watching what has gone down in the Academy, seeing what's happened here, it's what, I don't have kids. It's what I imagine watching your child graduate is like. Not so much pride for yourself, but pride for them. Feeling that sense that they've accomplished something, that someone so close to you has accomplished something. That's what I feel. Everyone here did it themselves, and I got to watch it, and for my part, I got to participate. I left this place a year ago, almost to the day, believing that I was the one graduating. But I didn't graduate this place any more than you graduate the home you grew up in. And eventually it came time for me to come home. It's what Eddie Hernandez said, and he welcomed me back just like everyone else did. But the reality is that the place that I returned to was different than the place that I left. I've been so open about that, and I mean it in the best possible way. I came back to so many new wrestlers, and I'm not just talking about the men and women who debuted after I left. Pertaining to my match in a minute, Lee Carr. This man is the microcosm of what has happened to the Academy as a whole. A new mentality can change you in a way I can't describe, no one can describe. And the entire Academy has evolved right before our very eyes. So now I'm so very proud to share the ring with a man who embodies that evolution. And I'm even more proud to share the ring in 2 weeks with the man who started this whole movement. At Stormchaser Sydney, Eddie Hernandez and I, one last time, will show you exactly how far this movement has come, and I intend to show that every week I'm out here. That's a promise. And you want to talk about a man who's building his own legend, this man, Lee Carr. We call him the ultimate Cinderella. His run in the Stormchaser tournament knockout stages was really something else. Beating Oliver Parker, Andrew Wesley, Kurt Andrews, going wire to wire against Eddie Hernandez in the finals. This man had a run in that tournament that no one would have expected, and listening to the way that Yun-Son Park talked about him and talked about the rest of the Academy, it shows you why he is so well respected around here, Park is, and Lee Carr offering, giving him that point. This is what an opportunity for Lee Carr in this match, and what an opportunity for us to watch this happen. Yun-Son Park, Lee Carr, wow. What an experience this is going to be. Oh, Carr immediately comes out with that drop kick. Not the green out, because he didn't add that corkscrew. That adds the power. But now pop-up Meteora from Yun-Son Park, getting things started off quick for both men. They don't have the athleticism. They don't, push the pace the same way that we expect from, say, Kurt Andrews, for example. But they're so quick and so agile. Probably the two quickest men, at least in Yun-Son Park's case, in the Academy. And man, if you had to rate the agility out of 100, they'd both be above a 90, you'd say. But this is such a special match. It's an experience, really, with all these two men have done. And for Yun-Son Park, he's so well respected, and we'll talk about it more in depth before his match with Eddie Hernandez at Stormchaser Sydney. We'll talk about his history in the Academy, why he's respected the way that he is when we get to that headliner match. Park now with this grounded abdominal stretch, just trying to grind some air out of the lungs of Lee Carr, and Carr looks like he's able to break the hold, and a judo toss. Beautifully done. Hey, before we get any further into this match, we got to go to Jason Parker's office, where the main man, he's got our announcement for next week's main event.
Hey, look, I only get a few seconds to speak every week. I think we know why. And so I want to use the time to just say to Yun-Son Park, I am so thankful for everything that you've done. I've only been here for a little while, but I know how important you are, and I love watching you every week. It'll be Yun-Son Park and Eddie Hernandez teaming up before their main event match against Overload and Tonga. Have fun, boys.
Wow, what a match coming up for that main event. Yun-Son Park, 2 weeks in a row, is going to get him a main event match. Now teaming with his opponent, Stormchaser Sydney. It's a leg lariat from Lee Carr and a kick out from Yun-Son Park. Of course, next week's episode, the final episode before Stormchaser Sydney on March 15th. So we will learn a lot about how that show is going to shake out. But now Lee Carr, he wants to learn a lot about how good Yun-Son Park is. Went for the green out. Park deflects it, but Park, it looks like he really miscalculated there. Lee Carr knocks him down from the top, but Park stops the suplex into a small package. Obviously can't get the win on the outside. Yun-Son Park knew it. Both these men share so many similarities. Park now going up to the top. Carr trying to roll away, but Park with the elbow drop covered almost half the ring. And now Park springboard looking for the high-low flow. Nobody home. The high-low flow named for one of Park's mentors when he was in the dojos of New Japan. And now Lee Carr, watch your head. And now he's got an opportunity right now to get the upset, and it's a kick out. Carr can't believe it. Park trained in the dojos of New Japan. Hiroshi Tanahashi was one of his mentors there. And so the high-low flow, named to honor one of the greats in the history of professional wrestling, the Ace. And now Park looking for another green out, nobody home. Yun-Son Park able to deflect it away as Carr now in position, looking for the miracle from LA. Carr got the knees up. That move named because it's what Yun-Son Park used 3 times to beat Pac for the GAW Cruiserweight Championship on his first night in the company. Park shocked the world by winning that belt and now catches the leg lariat and a dragon screw. What a match we are witnessing here, folks. Park has Carr in the corner. Lee Carr, Irish whip, Carr reverse, Park into the corner, and he got the knees up. Carr comes back, and Park with a missile drop kick off the second rope. Park loving it, the fans loving it, and now Park into the corner with a flying forearm. You gotta love it, and now Park turning up the heat right now, leg drop guillotine. So well done from Yun-Son Park. He has not lost a step. And now Park, we know what's coming, folks. Park basically invented this move. Everyone uses it, but nobody can compare. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Yun-Son Park dials up that DDT through the ropes. Carr with a few Kawada kicks, just trying to get some feeling back, and now Park spikes him. Often duplicated, never imitated, is that DDT through the ropes. We see so many use it. Park now, oh wow, caught on the wrong side of a Hurricane Rana is Lee Carr. And now Yun-Son Park hoists him up, stun gun. Lee Carr being taken to school by one of the greats, and now finally Yun-Son Park goes for a cover here, and it's kick out at 2. Park out of the way of the basement drop kick, looking for the green out, tossed aside. Yun-Son Park, another Hurricane Rana. And Park now drags Carr into the middle in a senton. Wow, Lee Carr, he is on the wrong end of a man who desperately wants to show the fans that he is back. Carr just trying to fight however he can. 3 minutes left. What a treat this match has been. And now, Yun-Son Park sends him through. Park, neck breaker, and a back breaker. There is so much that this man can do to hurt you. And Park, you can see, even he's lost his breath. It's been a while since he's been in competition, folks. It'll hurt you. Miracle from LA. It didn't hurt him there. Yun-Son Park hooks the far leg, and Yun-Son Park, welcome back. What a match. Lee Carr, you can see why he's called the ultimate Cinderella. He did everything he could, but at the end of the day, the green out never landed. Watch Your Head did, but Yun-Son Park, he shows he's still got some resilience left in him. Park tried the high-low flow, he tried the miracle from LA. Carr was smart enough, but at the end of the day, Yun-Son Park, he just does so much to wear you down. And Yun-Son Park shows us all why he is so well regarded, why he is so respected, and why at Stormchaser Sydney, this man is going to give us a show one last time against Eddie Hernandez at Stormchaser Sydney, and the two of them will team up in the main event next week on Stormchaser. That is a match that you can't miss. Stormchaser Sydney is a show you can't miss. March 15th, folks. Make sure you join us. Make sure you go check out generaladmissionwrestling.com. Join the Discord. Check us out on Spotify for this song that you're hearing and all of the rest of the music from around GAW. Folks, if you are here with us on GAW, thank you so much. And we are all so lucky to be witnessing what we are right now. Subscribe. We appreciate you.